So these negotiations were not balanced, and we could not do anything. We need a third-party involvement. Now, is this third party supposed to be the United States or the United Nations? I must say that the United States, first of all, is losing its credit in the Palestinian state. Palestinians do not trust the United States anymore. When the U.S. administration used the veto in the Security Council against settlement resolution, which expressed exactly the announced policy of the United States in the subject of settlements. But when it comes that this language will be embodied in a UN resolution, the United States used the veto. So how come you want the Palestinians to trust the United States? But there are some people who speak about the necessity for a detailed peace plan by the United States. I would carry it further. Let it be suggested by the United States, but it should be drafted as a UN resolution. And UN resolution, according to Chapter 7, which make it applicable and capable of being implemented. Because we are fed up of rhetoric resolutions which Israel throw away and don't care about.
Yes, ma'am. In the front row, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Jennifer Atalla, and I'm with USAID, but I'm here in my personal capacity as a Palestinian. My question is regarding some of the most recent incidents that have happened in the Palestine security-wise, and I'm wondering what your opinion is with a reconciled leadership, how the leadership might respond to some of the recent incidents, this being the murder of Giuliano Khamis and the recent Italian activists, both very pro-Palestinian, one of them Palestinian himself. How do you see a reconciled leadership responding to this community? Do you think this community is going to be an increased sort of threat or problem with regards to meeting any joint resolutions or with international politics at play, et cetera? What do you think about this?
Well, I'm sorry, I did not get exactly what you mean by the question. Could you say it without microphone? The microphone is disturbing me.
Yeah. So I'm curious what you think about how a reconciled Palestinian leadership will respond to the sort of increased, more fundamentalist elements within Palestinian society, speaking to the recent incidents of the murder of Giuliano Khamis and the Italian ISM activist, and also how they might respond to, do you think this is going to increase, is it going to derail future potential peace process, or even just holding Israel accountable, et cetera?
Thank you. I believe that even Hamas itself is now disturbed from the possibility of the development of a Salafi movement within the Palestinian community, a fundamentalist extreme movement. And obviously, the situation in Gaza created a climate which was good for the development of such a movement. You remember what happened in Rafah when one sheikh declared jihad from a mosque in Rafah, and Hamas bombed the mosque and destroyed the mosque on his head. And I remember recently the kidnapping and killing of the Italian peace activist Arrigoni, who was coming to express solidarity with the Palestinian people. So if Hamas was disturbed from such a trend, you can understand how nationalists and how average people were really very upset and very disturbed from this thing. I think that in some way the Hamas fear from the development of a Salafi movement in Gaza was also one of its motives to try to go towards conciliation with the national leadership of the Fatah, and try to disengage itself from being accused as a fundamentalist movement. And it's very clear that this is now on the top of their agenda, how to disassociate themselves from this accusation and how to become part of the legitimate leadership of the Palestinian people. And this they cannot achieve without being in good terms with Fatah and being absorbed and integrated in the Palestinian leadership. Sorry. It's not my phone, it's my son's, and it's always causing me troubles. So I think that Hamas is aware of this thing, and we don't want it. There was also the killing of Giuliano Khamis in Jenin, which until now it's not revealed, but there were rumors that some very youngsters belonging to the Popular Front were involved in his assassination. So we can expect these tragic things, but I can assure you that there is no chance for any real influence for the Salafists or the extreme fundamentalists on the Palestinian side.
I have two questions from the group in the rear. One is from Jamie Mandel, Georgetown University School of Foreign Service. Do you believe that the youth protests of May 15th, sometimes called the May 15th movement, young people in the West Bank and Gaza in favor of unity, played a role in ending, in bringing about this new unity agreement? Next question is from Jim Vettorello from Yes We Can, Middle East Peace. Will Hamas agree to a final peace agreement, a draft peace agreement that would be negotiated by the PLO if the agreement is submitted to a referendum vote by the Palestinian people? Let's have a third question.
Third question, okay.
Michael Lame.
Michael Lame, Rethink the Middle East. I've wondered if the Arab Spring came to Palestinian territories, whether the Palestinian youth would rise up against the Israelis, against Hamas, or against Fatah, or all of the above. And I'm wondering with particularly the Fatah leadership, Mahmoud Abbas is in his 70s. I've heard that there's a differential of about 20 years between the age of the Fatah leadership and the age of the Hamas leadership. Is there something particularly in the Fatah leadership for the youth to identify with and be inspired by?
First of all, we were happy to see this phenomenon of that the youth are trying to be active and to be involved in making decisions. And we saw them in Al Manara Square in Ramallah declaring that they are going on hunger strike and raising the slogan, الشعب يريد إنهاء الانقسام. In Egypt and other Arab countries, it was الشعب يريد إسقاط النظام. The people want to bring down the regime, and our youth were saying the people want to end the division. But I must be frank. I don't think that this was the major reason for ending the division. And true that there was youth in Ramallah. True that there was an attempt in Gaza, but it was crushed by Hamas security and was not allowed to demonstrate in Gaza against the split between Fatah and Hamas and call for conciliation. It was something nice. People liked it. It shows also that our youth are not isolated from the social internet and from what's happening in the surrounding Arab countries, but it was not the main reason behind that. About referendum,